got David, another David, on the line. Hello, David. Welcome to the David Carrier Show.
Hello.
How can I help?
I have a brother who's 88 years old, has kidney disease and glaucoma, ex-veteran from the Navy, and I have signed up as a power of attorney for him to help sign papers and such.
Okay.
It started with he has sale of some property, and he's going to get a windfall, what we would call a windfall of money maybe from this property.
Okay. About how much? About just ballpark it. Hey, David, could you just ballpark it for me about how much we're talking about? I'm talking 100,000, 10,000.
I don't know. Maybe he might get 100,000, but
okay.
The problem is he wants me to sign up with him on a separate checking account so I can write checks for him. He lives on the east side of the state, Michigan.
Right.
I live on the west side of the state, Michigan.
Sure.
And I just wondered if that's a good idea to do that, put my name and his name together, and then this money comes into our account. It would be our account or his account with my name on it. And if that's a wise idea as far as raising my income, he doesn't want it all coming into his account because where he lives is a high-rise government building where they take so much money. You can only live there if you make so much money, you know. I think it's called Phoenix Place in Pontiac.
All right. Well,
Anyway, I think his concern was, go ahead.
No, his concern is, if his concern is that the money's going to be viewed as income, he's probably right about that. He's probably Section 8 housing, I'm going to guess. One thing, here's the one thing I would say is there are government programs out there and you want to be eligible for them and all that. But what you don't want is to, if fraud were as easy as putting your brother's name on a bank account, more people would be, and plenty of people are doing it, but I mean, it's just not that easy. Okay.
Right.
If he's on Medicare, Medicaid, and he's getting the subsidized housing and all that, then, was this a sale of his own home? Is that how it came about?
Some mutual owned property in Muskegon County. He gets half and a cousin gets half. Okay.
See, the question that you have, that I would have, is did he declare the ownership of the property in the first place? Now there are.
Yes.
Okay.
He's been paying taxes. Yeah, right along.
No, I mean, when he signed up for the benefits, did he say, "Hey, I own this property with my cousin"? Because back in the day, you could do that. Back in the day, you could have, and I mean, years ago, you could have jointly owned property, and unless the cousin agreed to sell it, then they wouldn't count it against you. Now they changed the rule, and to me, everything's 5 years ago, but it's probably more like 10. Actually, they changed the rule, and they said if you own half a piece of property, even though you can't sell it without cousin signing off on it, then for Medicaid purposes, you did sell it and you got half of the cash. That's what they think. That's what they, so they would disqualify him from benefits. Now, if he's on typical Medicaid, but if he's on one of those programs where that are income only programs, right, then they'd let him keep it. So that's kind of the issue. Like, what Medicaid is, there's like 40 programs. So which Medicaid is he on? And what's the deal? Well, it matters. It does.
That helps confuse the issue, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's confusing. It is confusing, no question. But then the question becomes, what's the best thing to do with the money so that you get to keep some of it, right? Well, our rule of thumb for a single person who's on the Medicaid, we can save at least half. And putting your name on it is not the good idea, because You're no spring chicken either, right? And if
Right,
you
right.
if you need long-term care, right? If you need long-term care and your name is on this account, you have to be able to prove that it's 100% brother's money. But what brother is trying to do is say, no, it's half of David's money, right? And if it is half
I
of,
think maybe he's trying to hide it, maybe in his mind, like, I want it all in your name, so I don't have to lose my living space.
that's right.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Well, but see, here's the thing. Here's the reality of it is that you can't keep all of it, but you can keep an awful lot of it. You can keep half of it anyway, right? If you do it correctly.
Right.
The problem is in a situation like this, that if you went along with it, number one, if they discover it, then he's guilty of, of fraud, Medicaid fraud, and you'll still get your care paid for by the government, but it'll be in Jackson. And who wants that? Nobody, right?
That's what I was thinking. You can't hide this stuff.
Exactly. You can't hide it. What you can do, you put it in plain sight and you say, here's what I did with it. Okay. You can, and people say what I do is hiding assets. We never hide assets, not ever. We always say, I had this property with my cousin, sold it. I got this much money. Then I did this, then I did that, then I did the other thing. Here are the things I did. And because it's all according to Hoyle, because it's according to the rules that you made up, right? I don't have to go flat broke. I do have to pay some, right? And if I was a married couple, I could save all of it, but I'm not a married couple unless he is married. If he's married, we can still save the whole thing. But if he's single guy, we can save about half, and do it correctly. You see, that's the big difference. We don't hide anything. We tell them exactly what we did step by step. And then you keep getting the housing benefits that he paid for while he was working. You still get the Medicare, the Medicaid that you paid for. Right. So that's the, and then one of the things with your brother, you'd wonder, well, is he disabled? Does he need at-home care? What about some of the veterans benefits? Is he service-connected disability? Is he entitled to the pension? There are a bunch of benefits out there, but you got to thread your way through the maze. But this idea is just no. I mean, you're gonna screw yourself up, right? And to the extent it works, it's fraud. Stop it.
I agree, 100%. That's what I was thinking, and I thought it just doesn't smell right.
Well, I get that with the stuff I do that's legit. People are like, oh, you're doing this bad thing, and it's like, no, I'm not. I didn't make the rules. Okay, I don't make the rules. But if your brother can wind up with 50,000, right, and then at the end of the day, right, and he does nothing and he gets zero, right, but he does it correctly and he keeps 50, right. Well, I didn't make the rules. The rules allow me to do that. If I tell him exactly what I did and I get to keep 50, brother gets to keep 50. Well, hooray for everybody. What's the matter with that? Nothing, in my opinion. Right? But if you do this kind of thing, no, sir. So, okay, David.
Play by the rules.
Amen.
Play by the rules, or they'll come. Sam will come after you with a vengeance.
You are not kidding. You are not kidding.
All right. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. Take care.